Greetings! Welcome to this guide on Tier 5 Blessings in RuneScape 3 Leagues 2 Equilibrium. Blessings are power-ups for combat, similar to combat masteries and demonic packs in old school RuneScape. Blessings are unlocked by completing specific combat tasks. God tier relics are more powerful versions of blessings. Each blessing and God tier relic is aligned to one of three gods, Zamorak, Guthix, or Saradomin. The alignment of chosen blessings influences the alignment of God tier relics. For example, Guthix plus Guthix plus Guthix equals Guthix. Guthix plus Saradomin plus Zamorak equals Guthix, but Zamorak plus Zamorak plus Guthix equals Zamorak. You can determine this by assigning a value of 1 to Saradomin, 0 to Guthix, and -1 to Zamorak. If the total is positive, then the God tier relic's alignment is Saradomin. If the total is 0, then the alignment is Guthix, and if the total is negative, then the alignment is Zamorak. Unlike areas and relics, blessing picks can be reset like respecking in old school RuneScape. You get 3 resets, one at standard tier 1, one at God tier 1, and one at God tier 2. This encourages you to experiment with different blessing builds. Before we get into the blessings, let's talk about the passive effects at tier 5. God books, scriptures, grimoires, and scrimshaws no longer consume charges, so this benefits players with at least one of Fremennik, Tyrannon, and Asgarnia. Equipment no longer degrades, so this benefits players without the Perfection relic at tier 6. High-level degradable equipment tends to be augmentable, so players with Perfection can get the same effect through Infinite Divine Charge for augmented equipment. You choose one out of the following 3 blessings: Unholy Critual, see what they did there, Tearing Thorns, and Lord of Light. Unholy Critual buffs critical strikes, or crits. You gain plus 15% crit chance, which is capped at 50%. Any extra crit chance from other sources is converted into crit damage at a 1-to-1 ratio. For example, if you already have 50% crit chance from other blessings before picking this blessing, the plus 15% crit chance would be converted to plus 15 crit damage instead. Recall that the Inferno of Zamorak effect deals between 1x and 2x ability damage to a single target. Crits trigger Inferno of Zamorak, which gains plus 50% crit damage. Tearing Thorns buffs abilities that deal damage over time, such as Corruption Shot. With Tearing Thorns, the duration of damage over time abilities is doubled. For example, Corruption Shot would do 10 hits instead of 5. Recall that the Grasp with Guthix effect deals poison damage equal to 80 to 120% of ability damage in a 3x3 area around you. Every 5th hit of damage over time triggers Grasp of Guthix. For example, with Corruption Shot, both the 5th and 10th hits would trigger the effect. Grasp of Guthix deals extra damage equal to 20 to 30% of maximum life points. At 28k maximum life points, that would be an extra 8.4k extra damage. Lord of Light buffs basic attacks. Recall that the Light of Saradomin effect deals damage equal to 40 to 60% of ability damage plus 250% of armor value. Basic attacks trigger 5 instances of Light of Saradomin at random tiles near your target. Each instance hits up to 8 targets within 1 tile of it. This effect has a 14.45 second cooldown. Light of Saradomin deals plus 2% damage for each 1 prayer bonus you have. At 125 prayer bonus, that would be plus 250% damage. Light of Saradomin heals you for 5% of the damage you deal, half the amount that Soul Split heals. Let's compare the blessings. Unholy Critual's purpose is to buff crits. It boosts DPS by giving plus 15% crit chance, up to 50% with any excess converted to crit damage, at a 1-to-1 ratio. Crits trigger Inferno of Zamorak, which deals 1 to 2x ability damage to a single target, and gains plus 50% crit damage. The optimum strategy is to use invention perks, combat equipment, and abilities that increase crit chance and crit damage. For example, the Biting perk, Elite Dracolic Armor, and the Smoke Tendrils ability. The blessing is single target, so use it with dual wields at bosses. Tearing Thorns' purpose is to buff damage over time abilities. It boosts DPS by doubling their duration. Every 5th hit of them triggers Grasp of Guthix, which deals poison damage equal to 80 to 120% of ability damage in a 3x3 area, and deals extra damage equal to 20 to 30% of maximum life points. The optimal strategy is to use damage over time abilities, such as Corruption Shot, to increase maximum life points wear tank armor. Unlike Holy Critual, Tearing Thorns is multi-target, so use it with 2 H's in multi-combat areas, with monsters crowded closely together. Lord of Light's purpose is to buff basic attacks. It boosts DPS by making them trigger the Light of Saradomin effect on up to 40 extra targets, with the effect dealing damage based on armor value, and plus 2% damage for each 1 prayer bonus you have. The optimal strategy is to use basic attacks, simply to do in Legacy combat mode. Wear tank armor to maximize armor value, but focus on equipment with a prayer bonus, such as Masterwork. Like Tearing Thorns, Lord of Light is multi-target, so use it with 2 H's in multi-combat areas with monsters crowded closely together. In conclusion, which blessing you choose depends on personal preference. Factors to consider are your playstyle, any synergy with areas and standard relics, and any preference for particular god tier relics. There is no one right choice. Veteran PvMers who are focused on boss fights in single combat areas and PvPers may prefer Unholy Critual. It makes crits hit more often and harder, and trigger Inferno of Zamorak, significantly boosting DPS. Intermediate PvMers who are focused on training Slayer in multi-combat areas may prefer Tearing Thorns. It makes damage over time abilities last longer and trigger Grasp with Guthix, saving players in full manual combat mode from needing to manually perform them as often. Novice PvMers who are focused on Slayer in multi-combat areas may prefer Lord of Light. It makes basic attacks stronger and trigger Light of Saradomin, especially useful in Legacy combat mode. It's the only blessing out of the 3 to provide healing, and further increases survivability by encouraging you to wear prayer boosting tank armor. For other players, I would rank the blessings from least to most PvM experience required to use them effectively, with Lord of Light first, Tearing Thorns second, and Unholy Critual third. If you're interested in more content like this, then be sure to let me know by subscribing, leaving a comment about what you like and most look forward to, or liking and sharing the video. Hitting the bell icon on the subscribe button helps you to stay up to date with my latest content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.